You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodgers for Black and White Sports. Well, it's amazing to see how different of a reaction there is, and I noticed this right away, between Ben Roethlisberger having tested positive for the virus and Aaron Rodgers having tested positive for the virus. I've been watching for the reaction, and the reaction outside of people's fantasy teams and outside of the fact that you're having to play Mason Rudolph, the reaction between Aaron Rodgers and Ben Roethlisberger could not be more different. Now, one of the guys that I really enjoy reading his articles on, have for years, is legendary writer Armando Salguero. Used to work for ESPN. Now he is a member of Outkick. And now that he's at Outkick, he's able to take the gloves off. Now, we sat back. We chronicled the trials and tribulations of Aaron Rodgers over the last 2 weeks as the woke sports media all lost their ever-loving mind over the fact that they claim he misled or lied to people about his jab status. I still continue to contend that he really and truly felt like the correct answer to that question was none of your effing business, what my status is. But he chose to say immunized, as he was taking homeopathic methods to try to build his immune system. Well, it's his body, his business. They don't love that. They don't love to hear that, do they? So, Armando wrote a great piece today about that very thing, about how differently the media is reacting, because at the end of the day, when you strip away everything, Roethlisberger and Rodgers missed a game for the exact same reason. For the exact same reason. For the same thing, for the same virus, for the same thing in the pandemic, but the reaction is so much different. Pretty crazy. Let me say right off the bat, the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Ben Roethlisberger, aside from their play and results on the football field, is, and I don't agree with this, but he says one lied about the jab status, and one apparently did not. Everything else is the same. Nearly 2 weeks ago now, Packers quarterback tested positive for the COVID-19 and missed his team's game against the Kansas City Chiefs. But not before the narrative industrial complex lost its ever-loving mind, portraying Rodgers as a horrible person, a super spreader of the disease, and perhaps even a potential killer, because gasp, Rodgers was not jabbed. This week, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger tested positive also for the virus, and he will miss Sunday's game against the Lions. Roethlisberger, by the way, has said he is jabbed. And while the jab did not prevent Roethlisberger from actually getting the virus, because the jab doesn't prevent anybody from getting, spreading, or dying from COVID, it does immunize Roethlisberger from any criticism from the narrative industrial complex known as the woke media mob. I added that part. In fact, while Rodgers was ripped a new one by the likes of Terry Bradshaw, Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, and the other branch COVIDians for days, let's not forget Mike Florio, head Corona bro over at PFT, including on last Sunday's pregame shows, Roethlisberger is likely not to endure any criticism of any sort. Oh, because let's not us forget, Rodgers appeared at a press conference without a mask on, and the son of a bitch must get a fine bigger than $14,000. Isn't that right, Florio? Oh, he doesn't like but what about isms? Well, when the what about isms make sense and when they apply, you do use them. It's great for counterpoints there, Florio. So, Roethlisberger, in fact, is being applauded by some in the media for showing, quote, strong leadership as he prevented the spread while getting COVID. Did he? Do we know that? Never mind that we don't actually know because COVID symptoms often don't manifest for days, and there is, meanwhile, no evidence Rodgers spread anything to anybody while he had the virus. Think about that. We don't know if anybody got anything from Aaron Rodgers, but you don't hear that, do you? So why the different treatment of two NFL quarterbacks missing one NFL game because they both tested positive for the virus? Well, the stated public reason is Rodgers wasn't truthful about his shot status because when he was asked, he was immunized, giving the impression he took the shot. He didn't take one. He said he was allergic to the mRNA shots, the jabs, and he was concerned about medical issues around the Johnson & Johnson jab. And yeah, I had to clear that up and clean that up for YouTube. Oh boy. I'm not calling it a vaccine because it isn't. The CDC has actually changed the definition of vaccine on its website and no longer means that it immunizes one from the disease. Big Pharma made the request, these rigging of words to fit the corporate agenda of selling more jabs, thus enriching the corporation, is utter poo. This space will not abide. So let's recap. The media was outraged. Rodgers used a play on words, saying he was immunized to suggest he was jabbed. But they're not outraged. The CDC has literally changed the definition of vaccinated to no longer mean immunized. The media, by the way, is made up of liars. That is not casting aspersion, but an undeniable fact because everyone lies. Anyone who tells you they've never told a lie is a liar because every flawed human in and out of the media has lied, and if you have ever lied, you are a liar. That includes me, by the way. I've lied. I'm human. The difference between me and my media cohorts is I don't pretend I'm the one who's never lied, thus morally superior enough to judge other liars. So the liars in the media were outraged Rodgers lied. No, that's not complete. The liars in the media who lied to every day by the liars, they cover both inside and outside the NFL. Yeah, NFL coaches and players lied just like everyone else. Were morally outraged Rodgers lied. Can you see how the outrage that was the Rodgers treatment not only makes no sense, but is kind of slimy? Oh, it's hypocritical. It's F. I absolutely get his point. Why then is it that people who are themselves guilty of the same sin they're objected to so passionate in outing that sin? Because it's not about the sin. My guess is the people who wanted Aaron Rodgers dropped from his State Farm endorsement or suspended by the NFL because he lied were actually triggered by the fact that Rodgers didn't comply in taking one of the jabs. That's what this has all been about. I know some of these sports media types that have been outraged over the fact that they say Aaron Rodgers lied, that the fact he lied is the issue that they got. That's bullshit. They're pissed because Rodgers didn't zombie out like everybody else and go get that jab. It's not about that. If you are not jabbed, you're public enemy number one. Believe it. Zombie out for the woke sports media or any media at this point or half of anybody. Most people are around on your Facebook, anywhere else. The outrage about the Rodgers lie masked the fact that all these people want everyone taking the shot, and in their view, anyone who doesn't comply is a target unworthy of mercy if they screw up in any way. Meanwhile, this happened. Vaccinated NFL assistant coaches have tested positive for the virus this season, and caused unvaccinated, asymptomatic, negative testing unvaccinated players to be barred from practice because of the NFL's protocols on close contact. But those vaccinated people don't get labeled as spreaders because, well, they're vaccinated. Anyone who takes the shot gets a pass from the narrative industrial complex. Anyone who doesn't take the shot is a target, and that's why last week Aaron Rodgers got roasted, and this week Ben Roethlisberger will not. Well, let me point something else out. The other day, a vaccinated player for the Minnesota Vikings got taken to the hospital with the virus. I don't know if he's still in the hospital, but he was taken to the hospital. He was having trouble breathing. He was vaccinated. Now, Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio's website, wrote an article about this player going to the hospital for the virus, and I don't know if they changed it or not, but at the time they put the article out, I sent John Matrix a message, and I said, well, Pro Football Talk just reported this. They conveniently left out that this Vikings player was vaccinated. You purposely, Mike Florio, Corona Bro, and your cohorts, Michael David Smith and your other guys, you left the fact that he was vaccinated out of the article. People in the comments said, hey, this was a vaccinated player, by the way. Why isn't this in the article? Now, maybe you went back and corrected it, but for a good long while after you first published the article, the fact that he was jabbed was not mentioned in the article. Now, if there's ever more of a blatant example of the woke sports media and an agenda for you to importantly leave that part conveniently out because I sat back and watched Mike Florio bang the drum for you to go get the damn jab, he left that out of the article. That's irresponsible bullshit writing. I hope you see this, Florio. And that's exactly the shit that Armando Seguero is talking about. That's the exact reason why Clay Travis has labeled you a Corona Bro. You went nuts over Aaron Rodgers. Your guys put out an article, and you failed to mention the player is vaccinated because you don't want the fact that he went to the hospital and the fact that he was jabbed tied together because of your damn agenda. That's bullshit. It is absolute bullshit. I meant to make an article, a video on that, but it ties in perfectly with exactly what Seguero is talking about right now. Is the difference in the coverage between Aaron Rodgers and Ben Roethlisberger. So, you get my point. You see what I'm talking about. That's the exact difference that he is trying to address in this article. It'll be quiet as a church mouse when it comes to Roethlisberger, when at the end of the day, they both had the same thing, and they both missed one game. That's it. That's it. Kind of like words versus actions. Remember, we've talked about that. They went after Aaron Rodgers over words, remained eerily quick in and out, virtually quiet over Henry Ruggs. Yeah. Agendas. BS. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. Seguero's right on this. The narrative will be completely different. It will be. Yeah. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.